Now let's have a look at more advanced BadUSB hardware that can do more than just emulate keyboards. And I would like to start with the current leader in that market, which is the Bash Bunny from Hack5. As you can see, it's definitely bigger than the hardware we have been looking at before, and that's because this is a small Linux computer, which means that you can run tools like Nmap and Metasploit too. It can act as a keyboard, of course, but also as mouse, Ethernet adapter, flash drive, and a serial port. To handle all these features, it uses a new scripting language called BunnyScript that is more complex than DuckyScript, but that's no problem because it can still run the classic DuckyScript as we know it. So Hack5 sells this tool for $119. The latest version even supports Bluetooth Low Energy for a wireless control interface. It has a switch and a RGB LED for different attack modes. And as I said, a new scripting language that is more advanced. And yeah, it can act, among other things, as a USB flash drive and Ethernet adapter, which is really cool. The only downside to having such a powerful tool is that it's big and easily distinguished from a regular USB drive. A slightly thinner, although not smaller alternative is the USB Armory. It's not really a BadUSB, but more of a research tool for security applications. But it can be used as a BadUSB. This is for sure more of a hacker tool in the sense of tinkering and testing, and not so much a plug-and-play work tool for professional pen testers. It's made by F-Secure Foundry, which is a Finnish company, and on Crowd Supply you can get one with a case for $155. Like the Bash Bunny, it's a tiny Linux computer. It also features Bluetooth Low Energy and can act as a bunch of different USB devices. The biggest difference is probably that it's using USB Type-C and has both a plug and a receptacle. But it's primarily made for research and development, so don't expect this tool to be a plug-and-play experience. This doesn't have to be a negative, it just depends on your use case and what you're looking at. It's definitely a more open platform than the Bash Bunny, so it's perfect for tinkering and developing. There is really nothing like this tool, but it's a very niche use case. So if you're done with this course and you want to go down the rabbit hole further and learn everything about USB and test it with real hardware, this might be the right tool for you. A cheaper alternative to both tools mentioned before is the Raspberry Pi Zero-W, because it can also act as different USB devices. And the German InfoSec researcher Markus Mengs made a great project called PawnPi Aloha to utilize the hardware features of the Raspberry Pi for hacking. This is great because you can get a Raspberry Pi Zero-W for as cheap as $10. But keep in mind that you will probably need accessories, so it can get more pricey. Like other tools before, this is a tiny Linux computer and you can do a lot with it. There's a huge community for the Raspberry Pi. And with the PawnPi firmware, you can use it for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi hacking too. It's open source, and yes, it can also act as a flash drive or Ethernet adapter if emulating a keyboard isn't enough. The only downside is that there is no USB plug. You will need a cable and maybe a case. This is actually more of a DIY project, so you will need to put some work into it, but I will talk more about DIY BadUSBs in the next step.